Let us see Mahatma Gandhi's autobiography, The Story of My Experiments with Truth. And this autobiography consists of 105 essays, of which the first three chapters describes his birth and parentage, childhood, and child marriage. In the first chapter, Mahatma and describes his birth and parentage, and the second chapters he conveys his childhood experiences, and the third chapters and he delineates the child marriage of his own. These first three chapters prescribed for the first year, first semester students for general English, in general English. An autobiography is a story of a person's life written by that person. And this autobiography, the story of my experiments with truth, as an autobiography by Mahatma Gandhi. In the first chapter, Mahatma and describes his birth, his family background, as grandfather about his grandfather Uttamchand Gandhi and his father Karamchand Gandhi and his mother Putlibai. And Gandhi and belonged to the Banya caste, and they seem to have been originally grocers. And Uttamchand Gandhi, alias Vota Gandhi, his grandfather, must have been a man of principle. And Otto Gandhi married a second time, having lost his first wife. He had four sons, and by his first wife, and two sons for his second wife. And the fifth of these six brothers was Karamchand Gandhi, alias Kaba Gandhi, and the sixth was Sulcidas Gandhi. Both these brothers were prime ministers in Porbandar, and Kaba Gandhi was Mahatma's father. And Gaba Gandhi was a member of the Rajasthani's court, and he was for some time prime ministers in Rajkot and then in and Vankanar. And Gaba Gandhi married four times in succession, having lost his wife and each time by birth. He had two daughters by his first and second marriages. His last wife, Putlibai, bore him a daughter and three sons, and Mahatma being the youngest. For he married for the fourth time when he was over 40. And Mahatma's father was a lover of his clan, truthful, brave, and generous, but short tempered. And earned a name for strict impartiality in his family as well as outside, and his loyalty to the state was well known. And and his father never had any ambition to accumulate riches and left with very little property for Mahatma's family. And he had no education. At best, he might be said to have read up to the fifth Gujarati standard. And but his rich experience of practical affair stood him in a good stead of the solution of the most intricate questions and in managing hundreds of men. In his last days, he began reading the Gita at the instance of a learned and Brahmin friend of the family. The outstanding impression my mother has left Mahatma's memory is that of a saintliness. And Putliba was deeply religious, and she would not think of taking her meals without her daily prayers. Going to Haveli, the Vaishnava temple, was one of her daily duties. And Chaturmasya is a holy period of 4 months. And Mahatma still remember many lively discussions she had with the widowed mother of the Antakor Shagir. And Mahatma at last tells that and told that he was born at Porbandar and on the 2nd October 1869, and he passed his childhood in Porbandar, and he can recollect his school experiences in that. And the next chapter, he experiences the and he describes on his childhood experiences. At 7, And when his father left Porbandar for Rajkot and become a member of the Rajasthani court, Mahatma also left to Porbandar. As at Porbandar, and he left, Mahatma Gandhi left to Rajkot. And from Rajkot, he went to school. He went to the suburban school and thence to the high school, having already reached his 12th year. And he used to be very shy and avoid all company. And his books and his lessons were only the sole companions for Mahatma. To be at school at the stroke of the hour and to run back home as soon as the school closed, that was the daily habit of Mahatma. And he was often even afraid lest anyone should poke fun at him. He could not remember having ever told a lie during this short period, either to the teachers or to the schoolmates. And always he used to be very shy and avoided all company, and his books and his lessons were only the sole companions of Mahatma. And next, Mahatma and shares another incident which occurred at the examination during his first year at the Sky School. Mr. Giles, the educational inspector, had come on a visit of inspection, and he had set us 5 words and to write as a spelling exercise. And the teacher, at that time, the teacher tried to prompt Mahatma with the point of his boot and to copy the lessons. And Mahatma, the teacher, tried later to bring this stupidity home to me, but without effect, he never could learn the art of copying there. And he was by nature blind to the faults of elders. Mahatma note this point here. Later he came to know of many other feelings of his teacher, but his regard for him remained the same. Therefore, he could do the lessons, but often without his mind in them. And two other incidents belonging to the same period have always clung to Mahatma's memory, and the daily lesson had to be done. And because he disliked being taken to task by his teacher as much he disliked receiving them. And it was but somehow his eyes fell on a book, and he conveys his experience of a book of Shavana Pitirpati Nataka, and he falls his eyes on that book. It was purchased by Mahatma's father, and it was a Shravana Pitirpati Nataka, a play about Shravana's devotion to his parents. Mahatma read it with intense interest, and but anyway, the agonized lament of the parents over Shravana's death is and still fresh in Mahatma's memory. The melting tune and moved very deeply, and that came to about the same time, and same time in a showman also, and show this picture to Mahatma. One of the pictures he was shown was Shravana carrying by means of slings and fitted for his shoulders as blind parents on a pilgrimage. That book and the picture left an indelible impression on Mahatma's mind. And there was a similar incident connected with another play. And just about this time, Mahatma had and secured his father's permission to see a play performed by a certain dramatic company. That play was Harishchandra. It was captured Mahatma's Gandhi very much. To follow truth and to go through all ordeals, Harishchandra went through was the one ideal inspired in Mahatma's mind. He literally believed in the story of Harishchandra. The thought of it all often made Mahatma to weep. And this is the chapter 2, childhood is delineate as Mahatma as a mediocre student, and how he was shy in those period, and the and the art of copy, and his impression of copying. And after that he explains, he conveys, shares his experience with the plays, the Shravana Pitripati Nataka and Harichandra. All these things are comprises over in this second chapter. Let us see the third chapter. In this chapter, and Mahatma and shares his child marriage of his own. And it is his, he conveys that it's a painful duty to have to record here his marriage at the age of 13. And it's an agreement purely between the parents, and the children have no concern with it. Often they are not even informed of it, of the child marriage. And he was told that two girls chosen are him and had died in turn, and therefore he inferred that he was betrothed three times. And Mahatma conveys this, these are the things or in a faint recollection. However, and he explains the things, and the elders decided to marry Mahatma's second brother, who was 2 or 3 years Mahatma's senior, and in doing so, and possibly a year older, and these two marriages all at the same time. Because of that, in doing so, there was no thought of our welfare, much less our wishes, and it was purely a question of their own convenience and economy. It was purely done by their convenience and only for their economy. And his brother and he were both taken to Porbandar from Rajkot for the marriage. And there are some amusing details of the preliminaries of the final drama, that is called the smearing our bodies all over the turmeric. Mahatma note these things in this chapter. And Porbandar is actually 120 miles from Rajkot, and it caught journey for 5 days. It taken 5 days to reach Porbandar. My father, Mahatma's father, did the distance in three, but the coach toppled over in the third stage, and he sustained a severe injury, and he arrived bandaged all over. Mahatma recalls all the things, remembers all the things here, and both his father and Mahatma's interest in the coming event was half destroyed, but the ceremony had to be gone through, and he can picture to himself even, and today Mahatma delineate the things, everything's here, and the two innocent children unwittingly hurled themselves into the ocean of life. And his brother's wife had thoroughly coached Mahatma about his behavior on the first night. These are the things Mahatma and shares within this third chapter. And impressions of the former birth are potent enough to make all coaching superfluous. And these are the things experienced Mahatmas with and Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi forgot his grief over his father's injuries, and he could remember his wedding day and other rituals here. And this is the end of this third chapter. Thank you.